What's up, sports bettors? Alex here, and I'm going to be sharing some NFL player prop bets with you. Okay, so I already gave out this play previously in my last video, Terry McLaurin under 63.5 receiving yards. And I say this all the time, but through the winning streaks, the losing streaks, it looks like we've lost our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plays on Underdog Fantasy, but I'm riding with you guys. So all of these plays are sharp, they're data driven, they're mathematically profitable, will make money in the long run. But, I'm riding with you guys on all of them. I put my own money on them, and I just play where I can find value. A lot of people will ask me, hey, why didn't you have a video on Underdog Fantasy today? And it's like, well, I didn't find any plays I like. In Underdog Fantasy, it's not legal everywhere in the world. So maybe wherever I am, I can't access it. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is 3 more NFL bets that I really, really like. So hopefully you're able to tail them. And again, on Underdog Fantasy, as you'll kind of see in my own personal account, you basically always want to be playing 5-pick and 3-pick entries, right? And you may be like, wow, you have a lot of losses on Underdog Fantasy. But what you need to remember is all these plays are betting to win 6 times your money. So when you're betting to win 6 times your money, you only need to win 1 out of 6 bets to win or break even, So these are all parlays at pretty crazy odds. So anyways, the first play I went with is right here, just a positive EV bet from OddsJam. I love comparing the lines kind of on Underdog Fantasy to those on the sports books to look for value. So here's an example of a play I really like. Rachaad White under 2.5 receptions. We're getting this at minus 122 implied odds on Underdog Fantasy. All the sports books have the under heavily juiced, kind of from minus 135, I guess, to minus 180. So there's definitely some discrepancies in the market, but clearly the under should be a heavy favorite. And we're getting it at minus 122 implied odds on Underdog Fantasy, as we've kind of explained in tons of other videos. How to back out the implied odds on Underdog. Play has a 2.42% profit margin. And if you only play on Underdog Fantasy, you can just filter for Underdog Fantasy. But what I will encourage you to do is get more accounts, right? If you only have Underdog Fantasy, then get Prize Picks, get Thrive Fantasy, get the sports books in your location, right? Like here, this sharp play is on Jalen Waddle. It's only on Caesars. You can get this bet at plus 108 on Caesars. Every other bookie has it minus 110 or minus 115. That's incredible value. You can't place that bet if you only have Underdog Fantasy. Now, granted, Caesars Sportsbook is only available in a few states. But in a weird way, people always think gambling, you want less accounts. You just want to focus on one thing. You want to focus on one sport. That's such BS. It's insane. More sports books, more accounts means more bookmakers. They all set lines independently, means more value, more plays that actually have an edge, and you can beat the book. So I went with White under 2.5 receptions, insane value at minus 122. The sharpest sports book in the world, Pinnacle, has this minus 183. Pretty insane. Final play I went with Kirk Cousins under 1.5 passing TDs. I know the Vikings are playing well, but again, these are just plays. I just follow the math. $1,000 to win $6K. Literally, I just follow the math. I don't care what sport I'm betting on. I follow the markets. I follow the math. I view this as investing, not watching sports and gambling. Here you can see my bet tracker profit, which by the way is, literally completely accurate based on the sports books I have synced. This Sharp Sports thing, what they do is they literally pull the bets directly from your sportsbook accounts. Now, you can't link every single sportsbook. I can only link 5 out of hundreds of sportsbooks I use, but we're up 163K. So 4% ROI. Anyways, and you can see that right here. Any plays I give out, you can't sync Underdog Fantasy. You're not able to sync it. But for all these plays on WinBet and stuff, it's automatically synced. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Let's make